at the end of the day, probably the best way to get any employee's attention if you're trying to influence behavior is through the reward system and through compensation. I don't think that there's an employee in the workforce who gets in the car in the morning to come to work and says, gee, I'm going to get a performance review today, that's why I want to go to work. I think what they think is, at the end of my performance review, I'm going to hear about my reward. So we need to be using compensation as the key to leading behavior and getting things done that we're trying to get done. But let's not overlook the fact that alignment is an important part of this. In other words, when you set expectations, every employee in the company should have an expectation set about their performance which cascades down from the corporate goals of the company. We have to have these linked. And if we have good alignment in terms of the goals of the company and what the employee is expected to do, and a terrific reward system that brings in and reinforces that behavior, a lot of magic can happen around that. And of course, we think alignment's pretty important in this regard, because as one of my colleagues here at Workscape says, we could have enlightened chaos without alignment. So if you focus a lot on engagement and get people really motivated and happy, but they don't really have the focus on what it is they're supposed to do, we could deal with that situation.